Okay, we all good? Can we all see?
Yep. Yes.
Excellent. Let us begin. Does this work? So, agenda for today is a quick roundup of updates and Q&A, and then we will dive into all about webinars. So, previously on CI Grey migration, a couple of updates from last week. The existing training material has been / will be separated, updated to include webinar details and all the latest changes. This is mostly will be done because it hasn't been done yet. But the idea is that everything will be eventually in a wiki, accessible, broken out by topic. So the slides will continue to be updated through the training period, covering like emails, forms, journeys, and then at the end, we will revisit these slides together as a training session. Think of it as like the Christmas best of episode. Another update, as mentioned in the last training, the campaign name has been added to the event module. So we now have the event name, which is the public split, the public name, which will be included in the URL. And then we have the campaign name, which will follow our normal naming convention. Questions? Anyone got any questions? I can't see if anyone's raising their hand, so just shout.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I can't see who that is, but I like the mystery.
It's more like a request. When do I get access to the CIG? I still haven't got any access, and it's hard for me to follow the trainings when you don't have access.
Good question. I don't know. I will chase it again for you.
Thank you. That was it.
Anyone else? No. I have my assistant Andrea next to me.
Yes.
She's been promoted to Mark's executive assistant, and there you are. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you. Great support. So, all about webinars. Yeah. Ooh, fireworks. So, supported webinar platforms in CIJ. There is only one. I really should have done a Highlander meme at that point, but it's only Teams that suggest connected to CIJ. But the good news is there are multiple event types available. So we have town hall, webinar, live event, and there's another one that we are waiting for details on. Very important note, if you are carrying on to use Zoom, you will need to import campaign members manually into CIJ. This will cover at a later time. So the main two to be aware of are town hall and town hall and webinar. So town hall is, if you think about it, it's information in one direction more than having high interaction. So you can have huge attendances up to 10,000 people. It has limited interactions, mainly kind of view only. There is Q&A, but there's no chat. There's no breakout rooms. Webinar is built for more interactive sessions, can go up to 1,000 people. QA, polls, chats, reactions are all allowed. Presenters can promote attendees to speakers, and it supports breakout rooms for smaller discussions. Our recommended for best user experience is town halls generally, because most of what we're doing is presenting. In terms of the statuses available, yes, Katja.
In the town hall meeting, can we also do polls, questions? Because it was not shown there, because sometimes in webinars they want to ask something and it's only shown in webinars, but not in town halls. Polls.
As far as I know, I don't think you can. I think though it's literally just a Q&A. We will do some further testing and I can update later, but I think for now, no.
Okay.
Okay. In terms of the statuses.
There's one more question, Mark.
Oh, sorry. Whose question?
You missed my hand, Mark.
I didn't see it. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. No, I'm just curious. The difference between webinar and a meeting, because it looks like in the description, basically, it's the same features are there. but it's set up differently, right? Or what's the difference?
The difference between, as far as I know, the difference between a webinar and a meeting. So they are incredibly similar in what you visually see, but webinar gives you the option to, if anyone was just on the previous call with Ben and Britt, you can lock people to be muted. You can lock people to have their cameras off as they join. And I don't think in a regular meeting you have that level of control over people joining.
Okay.
And in
So-
webinars, you can even hide that attendees cannot see each other,
Yes.
at least, so we understand it too.
Okay, so for virtual CTFs, for example,
Webinar.
what webinar? Okay.
My logic on that is because I think the SEs really value having breakout rooms. So if someone is struggling, they can pull them aside, get them up to speed, and then bring them back in.
You can do that in meetings as well,
Yes, you
or
can.
can't you? Yeah.
They
But
used
are
to use
meetings
meetings for
still being sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
are meetings still being kind of logged in Dynamics or
No, that's why we
No,
should
no.
use webinar.
okay.
Can't see hands. Anyone else? Awesome. So in terms of the statuses, no real change from Marketo. We have member, waitlisted, registered, attended, no show, and attended on demand. They all still exist. They're all still usable. So that's nothing new. In terms of the components of setting up a webinar, we obviously have the webinar program, and then similar to any other event like we did last time, we have our forms, our emails, segments, journey, the campaign, and the reporting. So we're not going to go into that because we covered it last time. You can always go back and check. We would just say slight update to the naming conventions. So we now have our event name, which is the public display one. So important about that. And also, while we're here, if I can find my clean version. So the default view has event name. So I would say make sure to add in campaign name too, because I don't like it when it's just, there we go. I put it at the end. Should have put it there. 2 seconds. Let me tidy. Yeah, there we go. This will event name will be this public display of name. So if you're looking for things and you want to use our naming convention with the kind of year, the quarter, etc., remember to include campaign name in your view and then update and save your view. Right, creating a webinar. So to create a webinar, is that someone, Britt, saying something or just a cough? Take it as a cough. So to create a webinar program, we're going to change to the event planning module, which is down here at the bottom in the left-hand corner, change to event planning. And then we are going to click a new event in the top menu bar. Here, we're going to run through a checklist of things that we need to do. So obviously we're going to enter our event name, our campaign name. We're going to select webinar from the event type. We're going to add our description. We're going to select our publishing options, add our image, select our time zone. So let's quickly create a new event. What have we got? So our public name would be something that we're happy to share. So what can we have? We can have a Christmas party. Christmas party London. Then this would obviously follow our naming convention. I'm going to just nick this. It's going to be a webinar, which I've already forgotten what our abbreviations are. Please don't judge me. Also, I am getting very worried about my own spelling. Christmas party London. So here is our event type. It's going to be a webinar. obviously here is where we would add our image. Here is where we would set the date. So we'll do it next week, and then I have seen your hand, I promise. End time, and this one can just finish at 11. Go on, Carol. You had a question?
I did. When it comes to event name and campaign name, mostly, and probably other places as well, when it comes to space, is it going to be replaced if we, for example, instead of dash or whatever it's called, by mistake enter a
I don't think
space?
so. I think it's fine to have spaces. We'll
So
check
the
it.
URL would look.
I imagine it's going to do the browsery thing where it says %20 whenever there's a space. For my brain just likes it without that in it, which is why I tend to dash things. But we'll leave it as is, and we'll try it when we get our event URL. So additional information, this is where we do our audience type. So I say customers and prospects because they all want to come to our Christmas party. Super cool Christmas party. Wear a nice jumper. Okay. Go back to our notes. So we've done this, and now what we're going to look at is our publishing options. So the publishing options are here, and we're going to say, where do you want them to register? Is it a standalone page, or is it an embed code for adding into Path Factory or a page that is already set up? So in this case, we're going to say a standalone page. We've done our, oh yeah, good point. Make sure this is your right time zone because it does always default to Universal Time, GMT. It's great for us in the UK. Everybody else, I'm sorry. Chuck in an image. I haven't done one, but everybody loves Garfield. So we've ticked through all of these. We've added our event image. We've done our publishing options. We've added our description. We selected the event type. We've done our times. So next we want to do is to toggle on, do you want to stream this event? And that is right here under stream this event online. So we do want to stream it. We then select our streaming provider. And once we do that, the event is created in the back end. You're going to notice when I do this that not all of the options are currently available. Town Hall, for example, will be added in, so will webinar. For the minute, we're just going to go with meeting. Live event. Have a ton of options that appear underneath, so we can make the recording available. We can make it available to attendees. We can do a reporting, can allow external presenters. So obviously, all pretty straightforward. As you need, just slide these on. Okay. So soon we've already done our audience. So now is probably a good time to save. It's thinking.
While it's thinking, maybe Katja can cover her question.
Yes, I was wondering the event name, where is it displayed? Because I'm just wondering if I call it, for example, World Tour, and I don't say World Tour DAC, but then we have World Tour, Andrea is using World Tour and somebody else in the team also. Is it only we see that, or should we also follow a certain naming convention on the event name?
The event name, so it is visible in CIJ, and as I was showing, the default view shows event name. So we'd want to include campaign name in our view to differentiate between it. But the main place this event name is used is in the event URL. So.
Oh, okay, got it. So we're better, that's how we can influence the URL.
Yes, exactly.
basically. Okay, got it.
Yep.
So for Germany, there should be a German, like World Tour Germany and World Tour
I would say so, just to
have different links, because otherwise I assume we create the same link if we use.
no, it doesn't create
Okay.
the same link because part of the event link is lots of letters and numbers,
Oh,
and
right.
it is unique. So we could have 10 of you could all say Christmas party.
Okay.
It would look a bit confusing in your first view because the columns are
Mm.
set up to show event name and you just see Christmas party, Christmas party, Christmas
Mhm.
party, which is why add the campaign name as your view and save it so it's easier to see. And then the URL would be whole bunch of random letters,
Okay.
Christmas party, whole bunch of random letters, Christmas party. Does that all make sense?
Yeah,
And the
and then
event ID is always in the URL as well, so every event has its own ID number.
Mm-hmm.
and we used to need to add DE for the language in the URL. Do we still need to do that? That was kind of that I can't remember for whatever reason.
We did that for the cookie consent. So
Mhm.
during launch, we don't have the cookie consent turned on. If you choose to make this a standalone page, that would be first in phase 2. And back when we migrated the cookie consent management from the old Marketo to the new, those country codes were actually not needed for the cookie consent any longer.
That means I
Now-
don't need to edit.
You don't need to add those country codes. And Caroline made a good point last training, which we still need to look up on. These URLs are not so pretty. So whether or not we can use Bitly or something to make the URL nicer from the get-go anyway, then this is no longer so important.
Mhm.
But in case you don't have a Bitly, at least you know the event name is part of your URL.
Exactly. Beautiful. So
There's one more
Actually,
question.
Oh,
Yes, I
go
do
for
have
it.
a question concerning the recording. If
Yep.
I say yes to recording available to attendees, does that mean they are getting the recording automatically? Or is it something I will send over as soon as I am ready to give that to them?
Don't know is the short version of that one. I haven't tested that to see. I think similar to like in most Teams meetings, you know how the recording pops up for you. I think it would be similar to that it would either display or not display depending on this option. In terms of a follow-up email, nothing will be done automatically because we'd need journeys and emails to create that, but we should be able to link to it. Everyone's putting their hands up.
I know what Katja want to ask, I think, but
Okay.
go ahead.
Now I want for the follow-up email, we
Mhm.
probably, like as you said, we need to set it up, and then we probably would include the link there as
Yes.
a different file then to download it, because normally I need to shorten it so I can still download it and rework it and
Mhm.
upload it at YouTube. Usually we upload everything at YouTube. I was just
Yep.
wondering, so basically then I would not make it available for attendees, download it
Exactly.
for myself, and then upload it to YouTube and then follow the process like I did before.
Exactly. Or
Okay,
Path
got it.
Factory or whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, got it. Thanks.
Caroline?
After a webinar or a town hall meeting,
Yes.
will the attendees still see the meeting in Teams, in the chat where you have like all the sessions and recordings and everything you have internal meetings? Will
Mhm.
that be visible there as well, or is it like a totally separate Teams instance, dashboard, whatever you call it? Do you know what I'm after?
I do know what you're after, and I haven't thought about that, which makes me feel very silly. I don't know. Sorry, I know that's a rubbish answer.
No,
It's
but
good to go and test.
Yeah, no, and I think we need to investigate because, for example, that would be where the recording for attendees would probably show up, right? So
I
we want to
believe so. If
control.
we
Yeah.
activate that toggle to make it available, then yes, I believe so. I don't know, because sometimes I think we've all had it, right? You have a meeting with someone external, and then when you come back and look at that chat, everything's disappeared. But while you were on the conversation, people were adding content or writing messages and it was clearly available.
Hmm.
So my belief is it will work like that, where once the meeting is done, everything disappears unless we allow to share.
Excellent.
Katja?
Sorry, again, me. If I, for example, set up a Teams webinar or town hall meeting,
Yes.
and at the beginning when I set it up, it's not clear that we have an external presenter, but then 3 weeks later it comes up we have an external presenter, so I can change that and allow that then, because in Zoom sometimes when you changed it, it made suddenly informed all people registered about some changes you have done. Will that be here too, or is that just fine to do changes? Or
I believe that once we set this live, we're locking it down. So in terms of, do you want to allow external presenters? If you're unsure,
to put it on?
say yes, because you
Okay.
don't have to activate it. You don't have to sort of create someone as an external speaker. I would say if you know it's internal, don't worry. If you have any doubts, then hit the toggle just to be safe. Any more for any more? Excellent. So the next part is obviously to add your presenter in the speaker tab. So that's under related and then speakers. So we come here, related and speakers. And then here we can add a new speaker or add an existing speaker. So let's add. They are a internal speaker. Their name is Tracy. Sorry to pick on you. And then, oh, all right.
Oh, I think we already added her.
Ah, there you go. Well,
I think I did use Tracy before.
we're gonna skip by that.
Is speaker the same as host, or is the owner host?
I
Or
think
does it
the
matter?
owner is host and then speaker is speaker, but they can have similar permissions.
So could I have an owner that is not a CIJ licensed person?
As an owner, no, because the owner would be the person who creates this, unless they're set up in the system. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I'm thinking I'm gonna do all the setting up, but I'm not hosting anything. I'm not speaking anything.
So you'd set
So
them
I
up
put
as
in
a-
everybody else as.
Yeah, you can include them and then they would have permissions to activate and run everything.
Yeah, there's a difference. If in the PowerPoint you see there's something called producer and something called presenter. So the presenters are the ones who can share a screen and chat. So no, not much more than that. But a producer is the one that can start and stop, start and stop the session and even control the videos or something like that. So it has more of what we call the panelist today, I think.
Yeah. Katja? No?
But you're mute.
Yeah, sorry. Only people which are user or have access to CIJ can set up a webinar session then, right? As an event. Because I'm referring to Caroline for a CT capture the flag. Because now the SE set up the team session, but they were using a meeting and we want them to use a webinar so we can track it. Would that mean then we have to set it up for them and give them producer rights?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because this process of creating a webinar is done in the event module, and then the session, the webinar, the town hall is created by the event, as opposed to doing it the other way where you create the webinar and then kind of grab the URL and drag it in. This way it's all taken care of and it helps track the attendance. Enter value. Here we go. So
At
Hannah.
least for now. I don't want to confuse things, but the key word here is sessions, which we're not going to cover or do in Q1, in Q4 and Q1 maybe. Then the answer may be slightly different. So hold that thought, but for now, correct.
Hannah, I saw your hand go up.
Hello. How
Hello.
does it work with pre-recorded sessions? So, for example, the Teen Trend webinar series that Jonathan at the moment sets up a Teams call, records it, then sends us the video, and when we essentially set that ready to go, what would be the process involved with creating it in Customer Insights journeys? Can we still provide a video, for instance, or is it that we need to somehow have a recording attached to a Teams link that Jonathan, you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to work out how we track the attendees. It's a pre-recorded webinar.
Yeah.
But we set it on a specific date and then people attend and watch live and some on demand, etc.
I haven't, we had a look at this, that we couldn't find a way where you basically upload content into it. So in those cases where it's pre-recorded, the presenter would join and then share their screen with like sound and audio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
So here we are, we've set our speaker up. So we can tick off this, step 10. Here are a few quick little screenshots showing you the important areas we'd want to fill out. As you can see, we've got our owner. Our owner is the person who creates it, the bits that we all need to fill in, our audience type and the additional information. And then, of course, we need a form. So we need to create a form, obviously from our templates. We do this in our form tab. We create a new form and edit as we need. And please remember to update the form name right at the start. And I keep saying this because I'm the idiot who keeps forgetting to do it. And then I come back to find form 1, 2, 8, 7, 9, and I forget what I've done. So to add a form, we're going to create a new form. We're going to come to our event, and I think we said this is going to be a standalone one. So we're going to select here, insert our form. It's going to think. Here it's already done it for us, thank goodness. We're going to swap out our form. We're going to add our Christmas party London.
I think the form name should be the naming convention though, right? So you still need to update it.
Very good point. So let's jump back and find our name. Whoop. Okay, I don't know what I've done, but there we are. Thank you. So 25, Q4. Oh my goodness, Mark. EUB, UK. From. Who let the dyslexic do this? Right. Save. And publish. So that's our form done. And a couple of optional things that we can also set up. We can turn on our wait list, our registration period. There is the sessions and registrations options, which all live under the agenda and sessions tab. For the minute, this is a work in progress. So we'd say don't go near this, but stay on the line and we will get this sorted. But so the ones that we can do, obviously, are whether we want to enable a wait step, whether we want a maximum capacity, set registration period. Remind me where registration period is.
It is on this first page. Or is it additional information? Somewhere you turn that on too. Okay, if you go to my event, the Brit webinar one, why did it? Or was I dreaming this?
I think it just popped up here. It might be because this one has gone live. Consider it a fun adventure to go and explore. I'm sorry,
look
that's
for
such a
it.
terrible answer.
But it's a toggle. When you see it, it then asks you, okay, so what this registration period means is you can actually limit in what period people can actually sign up for the form. So this is more important for events.
Of course, it would be under the form. So here, registration period. Here we are. So we can set, as Britt just said, we can set when we want people to be able to access the form and to, sign up. Carolyn.
Will the form still be visible, or is it just not fillable? What is?
I believe that it just won't let you submit. It will. It gives you a message, and I think we define the messages inside of the form to basically say, when you click on the link, that it says this is unavailable, like outside of registration period. I think we come in and look at our, can we do it in here?
Yeah, let's check it out. It's that message submissions.
Registration, the registration period for the event is now closed. So the page will just display that message. And obviously you can customize that, say what you want. It is just basic text. It doesn't, you can't get too fancy with it though. Katya? And I see +1, so I don't know who the other person's.
Steve.
He was before me, so go ahead, Steve.
Cheers, thanks, team. So with the being able to determine the registration period, in theory, could we create a page that would be almost like a save the date? So come back on X date when registration opens?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
Constantly, why not? You've got a start date and an end date. So I think, yeah, it would say the registration is not open yet, and you could customize that for pre-registration. And then after it closes, you can set your registration is now closed.
Brilliant. Awesome. Thank you.
No worries. Katya?
I assume, because it was all in English there, standard default, it all will be English. So if we do that for any German webinars, we need to make sure that we add German text.
There will be a German template set up already.
Okay, cool.
So you shouldn't have to. It should all be translated. You can obviously modify it as you wish.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Any more? Schön. So obviously, quick note, we'll prepare training docs for both presenters and producers that you'll be able to share. So like when we're running capture the flags or, speaker sessions, we need people to understand their roles and what they can do. We'll have documentation prepared for them. There's also, if some of the BDI might have noticed, a handy link at the bottom here where it says tips and best practices to help you run your event more smoothly. This can also be shared with anybody who might be presenting, and it goes through some nice basics on what they should do, even down to having beautiful lighting. The link is in here if you wish to just click through on that. So final steps in creating are the same for all. We do our form, which we've just done. We do our emails. We will set up, obviously, special webinar templates that you can use. We'll do our journey, we'll do our segmentation, we'll do our reporting, which we'll all refer to. And so the last bit is to go live. As you can see, at the minute, we do not have an event URL. As soon as we go live, that will auto-populate. And that is what we can share. It does say make a test registration and check out the registration attendee tab for details of who's registered. Important to note that when you click the start button, you cannot stop and restart a live event. So to test it, create a rehearsal live event and invite a small group. And I'm trying to remember where the rehearsal bit is because I know we've done it. Britt, can you remember?
No.
Okay, we will flesh out those details and come back to you very soon. Katja.
Is that rehearsal? Does that mean usually, maybe that's what you said, but I'm not sure. Usually at Zoom, when I set it up, we are in a so-called practice session.
Yep.
And then we can talk.
You get that kind of green room already available. You can join in and then launch the webinar or launch the live event as you need.
But that's automatically set up like that, so I don't have to toggle anything on. Okay, great.
No, all good. So assuming that's all good, we're going to hit go live. Talk among yourselves.
Now we need the firework again.
Yeah, there we do. And so here we go. We can open in a new tab. And here we can see this is what gets displayed. So it's event ID. So it does, I think we put spaces in, right? So it underscores it anyway. Let's take a quick look, see if I'm right. Yep. So there you are, Carolyn, to answer that question. It will add underscores anyway, so it's up to you how you want to display it. Thankfully, we don't get the %20s. Reporting on webinar programs. Obviously, we can report inside of the program. So we have, funnily enough, we've got registration and attendance. And then here we found out we also, where was it? Event registrations, which is the exact same thing, but in a whole new tab. So you can't go wrong. They're both in there. Carolyn?
And this is what I've been longing for such a long time. How do we share this view dashboard with sellers?
I think Power BI in the short term, you could screenshot or you could export. But I think what you want is a dynamic view, right? So in that case, we'll have a Power BI view set up. We can probably look at creating an event one, which will just show registrations, and that will be something easily shareable.
So this is not something we can see in Dynamics as we were able to in Salesforce?
I don't know.
I would say yes, you can. Remember, every event will also create a campaign. And campaigns are visible in Power BI. They're visible in D365, just like we saw campaigns in Salesforce. So as we create campaigns and change the members based on their registration, attendance, and so on, it's actually the campaign that will reflect what happened here and will be visible in D365 and Power BI.
Can we investigate this so we know for sure how to do this?
It is, so that's part of the journey training.
Okay.
Which we'll go through in detail on what exactly does the journey do. We did it very quickly last time when we did the event. The journey manages the campaign members and campaign setup.
Perfect, thank you.
There we go. So yeah, we can report in the registration event tab. Sessions registration, like I said, CIJ, analytics, and also Power BI reports. As a additional thing, some people may have noticed we've got this bar across the top, which says preliminaries, agenda, organized, and we've never really mentioned it. So what this is for tracking progress during setup and deployment. Super helpful if, say, we're going on holiday and we want other people to jump in and see how far we've gone. So we can set all of our fields, jump to our next stage, pull out all the information that we need and keep jumping through as a way of tracking progress through deployment. So we can go all the way up to what we've done. I'm not filling this out properly, forgive me, but we're now at launch, right? So anybody coming in can see we're at the launch, we're ready to go, right? Or in this case, it would be promote. But kind of helpful. I think it's something that I'm going to be using a lot because I am scatty and forgetful. And it saves me having to work out what I did last. And that's it. So next week, we will do all about emails. Yes, Steve. Hello.
Hello. That last slide, the progress tracker.
Yes.
I'm kind of probably 3 steps ahead here. But in theory, could we almost create a view to say, here's all the projects we're working on, here's all the events, and here's the status. And okay, yeah. So it's almost like a project management webinar, CRM, or everything all packaged up in one. So this is really cool.
Yep. Any event we're doing has this. And yeah, like I said, I think it will be really helpful for like tracking how we're progressing. I think we can report on this, and also it helps other members coming in and just seeing what's going on.
Awesome. Great stuff.
All right.
Oh, Katya's got a question.
I'm going to come out of sharing so I can see you all. Hello.
If the camera works again, yes. With that project line, will that fill automatically when I do stuff? And
no,
so I have to do that manually. So in addition to setting up all the project, I also have to fill in that.
Yes.
Basically. Okay.
And it's just stepping through it. There's lots of options. We need to have a proper look on the reporting of this to see what gets pulled in and how relevant or useful it is. There is so much data in Microsoft. It's almost too much. It's awesome.
Because it only helps when we all fill in the same stuff, kind of, with the otherwise if somebody does it, to report on it or whatever we want to report on it, it's for me easier. I know which fields I should fill in.
I think so. I mean, even if we keep it while we're researching, even if we keep it as like high level and we just know the status that we're going through, I think that has huge value.
Okay, great.
Jorge.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't know if you have already said this, but regarding to the registration period, when will you be able to, I mean, sorry, those messages that appears to be after and before the event, those messages will be shown to the person who's trying to submit the form before or after getting
so they don't even get to the form. When they click the link, this message pops up in front of them and says like, it's not open yet. And then we can customize the text, say it will open on this date, come back then or something.
Okay. And only when the period it's open, they can access the form,
then
right?
they see the form and they can submit. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. There we are. How was that for everyone? I think that was a nice quick one. We've got 15 minutes.
Oh, just like the other training call. We're getting quicker and quicker.
And efficient, guys. Well done.
So if no other questions, I will see everybody on Friday. Feel free to come with questions to the I forget what I've called it. All I can remember is open bar, and I know I shouldn't be calling it open bar, but that's what it is. Okay, so
office hours.
Thank you. God, it's good to have a professional in the chat.
Well, no, you're not talking about me now, so
professional drinker.
Yeah. Mark, are you gonna be in the bar even if nobody's gonna join? I mean, because it's not a mandatory call, so are you gonna sit there for the whole hour?
Look, if I have to sit in a bar for an hour, that's the kind of dedication I have to the role, okay?
Excellent.
There's no budget for alcohol now, Mark, right? So
of course not. Of course, bring your own.
Yeah.
It's Friday, you know. What's the rule? If it's in a mug, no one can tell.
Shh, Mark.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was part of the training.
Brown paper bag works as well.
There you are. All right, then thanks everyone. Like I said, we'll see you Friday if you want to drop by. And obviously that one's a free session. So if you're busy, if you've got things to do, no worries. But we will record it because I forgot last week. So thank you and see you all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.